Hi, I'm Martina. Welcome to Magnetic Clarity. I'm a kinesiologist. I use tarot to explore downloads that will help us cultivate the life we want. Hi, everyone. So I thought I would do a zodiac check-in. Hopefully keeping them short just so that you can get in, get out. And we're just going to touch on all areas of, our human lives, like money, love, career, the basics. But if there is a stronger message that doesn't fall into those sort of titles, then, the message is what the message is. I believe all readings are timeless. So just remember, energy is energy, and take what resonates and leave the rest. Hi, Sagittarius. So this is your crystal, Venturine. Sagittarius, there is no greater feeling than going for what you want, and I'll speak my mind in the process. I can't help if I'm blunt. Okay? And we have the heart. We have the elephant. Blind spot, we have powerless. Meridian, we have large intestine, holding on to something, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Okay. We have Daughter of Swords. We have Eight of Cups. We have Mother of Wands. Feels like Sagittarius energy there. We have Six of Wands. And we have Strength. You are hereby declared a strong, resilient warrior of heroic proportions. Enjoy your battles, whatever they are, because you're guaranteed to come through them stronger, brighter, and more compassionate. And based on what I know of mythology, probably with great hair and a six-pack. Okay. I'm also going to get you essential oils for the emotional component of the reading. Okay, can we have oil for Sagittarius? Lang, verve, reignite spark, vivacity in life and living. Okay, well, you've definitely got spark in your elephant for sure. Bit of an aphrodisiac as well. I wonder if that's got some meaning to your reading. Ilang. Very pungent. Very familiar too. Okay, Sagittarius, I feel like you've got your mojo back. You've definitely got your spark back. And I feel like you are rising. You're rising above the ashes for sure. And I think it's almost like you've had to tear a house down to do it. But I think you thought you weren't going to be able to do it, because I feel like with the powerless card and the elephant, you've even surprised yourself at the own strength you have. And even with the 2 points on the large intestine, I feel like you've had things on your shoulders, and you've had to toss between, is the risk for me to change my life right now worth the reward? Or am I throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak? Was I holding on to something that just wasn't working? And I feel like it got you in the heart, and I think you had to go to ground on yourself and figure out what it is that you needed to remove in your life, because you knew you were holding on. And I think this powerless energy, I feel like you thought you were powerless and that you didn't have any power moves to play. But when push came to shove, you removed those obstacles with amazing force. And even, doubling up here with the strength card, it's like you somehow done the impossible that you thought you weren't able to do. It's somehow you were able to walk away from something that was a risk, because it might have been okay to stay on some level, but either way you chose to move through it because it was never going to bring you the verve for life. It'd been depleting you on some level. It may have been taking its toll on you. You may have even I don't often talk about medical illnesses with these cards because obviously I'm not a doctor, so disclaimer there, but it might have played a toll on your digestive health on some kind. Normally when we deal with a lot of stress, it goes straight to our stomach energy or our large intestine, So yeah, I feel like you have carried the burden of it of some kind. But boy, the strength that you have built over that, like the resilience you have built with this story, it's that maybe you felt powerless because your heart was so torn in this situation, but you also knew that your heart was kind of getting all tangled up, and that there was even this need to strike out sometimes. So maybe you were protecting a family unit, maybe there was more consequences to your decision than just yourself walking away from it. Either way, like there was definitely a possibility that these fragile consequences from your decisions could have ended up quite badly. Or not badly, but definitely it didn't come without a price, right? So you had to almost tune into what's your highest good. I feel like you took no prisoners, and I think that's why you went into this like, I'm going to speak my mind in the process. It's like you had enough, and you definitely moved away from that situation. You found the courage to move through it. But you definitely learned some lessons. You learned some lessons about yourself, about the situation, about who you are, who you wanted to become, and who you have been an example for. So if this was like the end of a marriage and there was like a family breakup, you had to decide that if you didn't change the situation, then your life was being witnessed in some level, maybe by children or friends or family, and it wasn't really leaving the example that you knew you were capable of, because you knew you had this strength within, even though the situation was kind of making you feel powerless, and at times it was easy to slip into that belief system. But the fire in the belly that you created, so whether there was an epic point in this journey where you literally had to go, like complete elephant mode on, like you just had to storm through the hard barriers of which you were kind of keeping yourself tangled in the weeds of, you were able to smash through those obstacles because it meant that much to you. It's that you wanted to reignite who you are, the life you wanted, and how you wanted to be living it. And it wasn't what it was in that current situation. And so it no longer became a choice. You just had to walk through almost broken glass. Thanks, Annie Lennox. Feels like I'm walking through broken glass to get out of that story. But in the end, you had to protect some investments. You had to protect some assets, maybe. You had to protect some dependents, maybe children, etc., etc. But there was a lot to lose in the story, but you were able to gain through either this determination. You walked away in a much more victorious way. It's like you were able to get yourself out of all of those those barbed situations that could have easily led in self-destruction, but that you have literally risen with all of your delicate, nurturing, beautiful gifts intact. You didn't let it destroy the heart of who you are, because you know the power of your own your nature. Like, you know who you are. You might have just forgotten it But then elephants don't like to forget, right? So on some level, you were reminded of who you are. And that's why you've had to reignite that spark of you. And as a consequences, there's been a lot to see and say about it from you and from others. I think people around you have noticed these changes and the wins that you've gone through, and at the risk in which it took. And I think there's a lot of people in awe of you. Okay, let's see. What is this strength that Sagittarius has been built? What strength is it that... Well, repeating cards has built your victory, obviously. You know how to... your inner resources. You've learned how to create that new version of your life. You've done it. Like, you're there. It's that, you know it. You know who you are. You're not going to forget again. And you're not going to pay the price that you've already paid at almost losing it once before. And that's why you won't forget this story. That's why the elephant here as well. It's to remind you that you can smash through the obstacles, but also don't remember that you are your heart. That's how you're guided. That's how you play in this life. It's very important to you to lead with your emotions. And for some reason, they were getting suppressed on some level up until now. It's like you forgot yourself, and that's why you were left feeling powerless in it. Okay. Sagittarius. What happens next? What happens next for Sagittarius in this situation? Where is it leading to? Well, the Sun card tried to flip. Oh, and it dropped. Perfect. Love it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you certainly are walking out of this pathway. You're almost at the end. And guess what? It's the Sun card, the happiest card in the deck. And you've got 9 of Pentacles at the bottom. It's like you've built your confidence. You've built your nest. You've feathered it in some way. It's so much more abundant. It's not so protective and cagey. It has the freedom to breathe. And, I guess get that softer energy with the feathers. It's like you're not tangling your heart in weeds anymore with protection, but that it's got that lightness that you wanted. You brought back your place, yourself back into that heart-centered space and that heart-centered action in life. It's like you start to see the joy in your strength, your power, and that just permeates your life. It's like it sparks the if there was a family involved in the story for you, Sagittarius, they're all feeling a lot more comfortable and supported in it, healthy. And if it's just yourself, if it's your own dependence that you gained, confidence, your desire, your mojo, whatever it is that you're now creating, it's in perfect harmony with where you are now. Like, to get Elephant, Sun card, Strength, the Heart, like, these are big energies, right? These aren't fluffy. These are like hard lessons with big rewards. And you're stepping your way out of that. You've really built your resilience around it. What was the reason for all of these lessons? What is the ultimate outcome for Sagittarius? I guess it's like you reap what you sow. It's like when you invest in yourself and you transform your life, it becomes reciprocal, and it does become a two-way street. You don't just persevere in a story that doesn't make you happy. We're always trying to bring more of ourselves in our lives. We're learning more. We're trying to join more expansion and abundance. And when you get trapped in some of these dark spots through life, it can really, deplete your energy and even your health. But I feel like you're understanding that step by step, you moved your way out of that. and you can no longer transform back into who you used to be, because you're a completely different creature now. It's like you've totally shifted. So, and it probably happened quick. Maybe you started in this energy and you stayed there for a little while, and it just did take that spark, that one spark, into re-remembering everything that you knew and the power that you did have within. And the taste and hunger that you had for living in a life you either used to know or you dreamed of for yourself in the future. But now you're at the steps of living it. So Sagittarius, that's your reading. I hope it helps, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.